Some joke. I wonder how long Noah could have held the world in terror of his Armageddon device before we all realized we'd been shanghaied. But I guess he's not laughing now. This is it, Marines. The end of the road for a better tomorrow. Fitica Intelligence was able to extract the location of the Better Tomorrow Corporation and its leader, Jeremiah. However, this was only reported to me minutes after he received this cryptic radio message from Jeremiah himself, containing the following.
I knew the Marines would be back for me someday. They never forget their dead, do they? No. But you can't save the colonies, no. They'll fall on their own without my friendly persuasion. So you found my Italian comrades. Then why don't you come join me? Once upon a time in the West.
I don't know if you're old enough to get the reference, but the combination of mentioning Italy and the film name cued us off to where Jeremiah must have located himself. Monument Valley, where Hollywood westerns, and that spaghetti western in particular, have been filmed for years. It would seem Jeremiah fashions himself a modern-day Henry Fonda of sorts. I can reveal to you the full story on our quite likely insane adversary. This information has been gleaned from a combination of Fitica intelligence work combined with the bizarre manifesto he sent to us over the radio. As I've told you earlier, he's an ex-Marine, having served in Vietnam. Now, I know you may feel conflicted about going up against a fellow brother from the Corps, but I checked with his CO. Gregory Brown was given a dishonorable discharge after deserting from his unit in a firefight. I knew you'd feel differently about him once you heard that. Reports are that after returning stateside, he didn't fit into civilian life well, and his family, though they didn't know about his dishonor, shunned him for his involvement in the unpopular war. Fitica reports he spent most of the time living off some meager savings he had, watching a lot of movies, usually the same ones, over and over and over again. In the 80s, it appears Jeremiah felt more and more resentful of the U.S. government, and seemed to have built up a small fortune through marginally legal direct mail schemes. Using his own money as well as that of clandestine investors, Jeremiah built up a better tomorrow in order to provide weaponry and training to groups around the U.S. Unlike I reported to you earlier, Jeremiah's radio manifesto seems to indicate that he does not share the race hatred nor the fear of Zog with some groups he arms and readies for war. Instead, Jeremiah's goal is just general anarchy. The U.S. tearing itself apart from the inside is how he put it in his manifesto. Perhaps you can hear it once this is all done. You might have a better idea of what makes him tick. But some of the stuff he said is way out there. To the task at hand. You're to assault with extreme prejudice Jeremiah's base in Monument Valley. It's manned by the worst of what you've seen so far. Shock troopers using assorted armament, that armored, unmanned weaponry from Italy, and Jeremiah himself won't go easily, I'm sure. And to make matters worse, we have no knowledge of the area whatsoever, except some out-of-date terrain maps. Jeremiah's defensive missile silos make conventional aerial photography all but useless, so what you see is what little information we have. Your ultimate goal is to bring in Jeremiah, though I don't think he's the type who likes to be taken alive. Marines usually aren't, and Henry Fonda in Once Upon a Time certainly wasn't.